Here we are, back at it again. You are now listening to Joe Rogan's favorite podcast. And it is I, your host with the mostest. Your hostess with the mostest. So, let's see what's been going on. The big homie Mike Jones passed away. And he passed away actually, I want to say, it might have been the day after my last episode, right? Or a few days after. Or even the day of, right? But Mike Jones, he was a trombonist, jazz trombonist, and I've done an interview with him. I might even repost that episode. Right. And I might just do like a reaction, but, Mike Jones, I mean, he was a man amongst men, a good person. And, this type of stuff happens every day. So, yeah, that was tough. I mean, when I heard he was sick, I was driving to the yogurt. I was driving to the yogurt shop and I was about to start crying. I had to pull myself together. Look, man, pull it together, so and I can see him I can just, I remember him healthy, I remember him healthy. So that's how I remember him. That's how I see him in my mind, in my head. Just like Dennis, just like my dad, and for the most part, my mom. I was there to take her to the hospital and, see her weak and just having to sit down a lot, right? And so those memories are there, but I choose to go and find better memories. And it's kind of I think when you have to deal with it head on, right now with Mike Jones and Dennis and even my dad, I didn't see them in their last few hours. And we're talking about sickness now. We can talk about the homies who got shot up and there's a difference. I think when you grow up around violence and gun violence and things like that, when you grow up around that type of stuff, you tend to be more desensitized to those things. So if somebody got stabbed or somebody got shot or somebody got beat to death, it's like, all right, I know what that looks like. Right. I know how that smells. But when a person is dying from a sickness, they're dying from an illness, that smell and what that looks like, I had to learn a lot later. And it's definitely a sight to behold. I mean, and I've seen people pass in the nursing home, and I've seen people pass in their home. We're talking about sicknesses and illness. So, that type of stuff, I mean, is a lot different, right? But I would only imagine that if you're subjected to that stuff at a young age and you're constantly seeing this type of stuff, then you become desensitized to that. And then maybe violence is hard. But then, I mean, you got to look at the musician, the church musician. The church musician who grows up in the hood has seen both worlds. Now, remember, I didn't start playing for the church until college. I believe it was my second. It was the end of, it was my second year. So, and I wanted to go to church when I was little. But I didn't go to church. So Like, I don't have those idioms, and I just, like, I don't have that type of stuff. But the person who grew up, so like you go back to my neighborhood, and then you just pick out, like, I think of Theron Hawkins. So he was in the church, and he lives in the hood, right, at that time in his youth. So he lived in the hood, and he was brought up in the church. So he's seeing violence just like we are, because he's from East Baltimore. So that's the thing. You from East Baltimore, it's only like a select few. There's only a select few pockets in East Baltimore. Well, I can't say a select few, but just on my side. And it's rough, right? Now, my actual block, and like we went around to the 1600 block of Bond Street. It was like a nice neighborhood, right? And Caroline Street, the 1500 block. Now, when I say nice neighborhood, and we're just saying that block, it meant that you could walk up and down that block and no one was going to attack you. Like, you didn't have to worry. But there were people, they had goons and goblins that may come around and walk through those blocks, and they're going to terrorize the kids who live on that block, right? So you got a few blocks, but you're going to be surrounded by the jungle. So Deron, he got exposed, right? He got exposed even if he didn't like hang in it, because I grew up free. A lot of kids didn't grow up free like me. Like, I could just do what I want. I could just stay out. I could just go anywhere, right? So I grew up pretty free. Even if you didn't grow up free, you knew what was around the corner. Like, yo, you knew such and such just got shot. You probably seen blood on the ground, so those type of things. So he was exposed, and he's exposed to funerals and sicknesses and grandmas and aunties and just mama, whoever in the church, right, who's going to get sick, because this is just a part of life, right? This is a part of church culture. So not only are you learning the songs and you playing the games and going to revival and midnight service and pastor's anniversary, not only are you doing all of that, but you're also dealing with death. I'm sure he played countless funerals and went to countless memorial services of the elderly, and had to go and see him come to church, and they're sick, and the pastor's going to bring them up and lay hands on them. And maybe they got well that time, maybe they didn't, right? He's going to be exposed to all of this stuff that I was exposed to in my 20s. He's going to be exposed to it at age 4, right? So you're going to have those type of outliers, but and be numb to both, right? Be not just, and when I say numb, not even in a bad way, just accepting. Whereas sicknesses, illness, like I tend to run away from those things. Like, I don't want to see those things if I have a choice. Now, like I said, with my mom, I really didn't have a choice. I had to be there, and it was tough. It was, it's going to be tough and harder for her because she's the one who has to go through it, right? And feeling like that. So, it's just an all around tough experience. But my point is, when you go through something like that, it's the same as someone having an argument with you, or just saying calling you bad names or whatever, right? You have a choice. You can't just hit a switch and now everything that they say goes into a different language that you don't understand, right? So everything that they say turns into Amharic, which is an Ethiopian language, right? Like, now if you understand Amharic, then whatever language you don't understand, right? Whatever dialect that you don't understand, so you just clap 2 times and boom, whatever they're saying goes into that language. Now it's not even penetrating you. Now it is just flowing over you. We can't do that. If you know the language and you hear the word, you will know and feel whatever they want you to feel. Now that's a choice, because you can choose to not engage and not even get an uprise from it. You can just choose to not even look, man, I'm not even going to deal with this. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. I'm not gonna be affected by it. And I think that's the same as the memory that I choose and that I remember from my mom, because I can't just clap my hand and I don't have those memories. Like, I do have the memories of her having to, like, we're walking through the store and she has to sit down, right? Or we picking her up from like a nursing home. Now, she didn't pass in the nursing home, but when she got sick, when we moved she was like in a home for a little bit. It was probably like a week or something, and then I went up and then I got her. So I remember all of those things, and I think the last picture that I even have of her is maybe taking her home, picking her up from one of those type of places, right? So that's in my mind as well. So I have to choose to go find happier memories and better memories of her, right? So that's how it is with my mom. But everybody else, like I said, with Mike Jones and all the others, I don't have those memories of them. So, like I think we are gonna jump into this episode, and maybe I'll do like we'll save Mike Jones for next week. I'm gonna play it again, right? So right now, you guys can actually go and find the Mike Jones episode. I don't know what number it is, but you guys can actually go and listen to the episode, because next week, that is the episode. That is going to be next week's episode. Is going to be just replaying. I'm going to listen to it myself, so I'm not going to just pull up the audio file and process it and just put it back to the people. Right? I'm not going to do. I'm going to actually listen to it and reflect on it. So I don't think that was I don't think it was a 2-hour episode. You know, a lot of people, we're jumping around, jump, up, and get down, jump, everybody jump, right? But a lot of people can't, especially, you know, your first time on a podcast, it may be hard for you to keep a conversation and to keep it going and to think about the pauses and the silence of the lambs, right? To think about all of these things as your first podcast. For some people, that is pretty hard. That's a hard thing to do. And just thinking of the Mike Jones episode, like I said, I don't remember if it was 2 hours, but we did play. We did play as well. So it could have easily went to 2 hours because we played some jazz. We might even, I don't know if we sang some songs, because I know we do it all. Like Mike was in the band, and we're going to talk more. We're going to talk about Mike when we listen to the episode. But we're going so that's going to be a long episode, right? So if it is 2 hours, then it's going to be 2+ hours, and I may cut it. We'll figure it out. Like I'm not going to sweat on how it is. I know that it was a good episode, and we're just taking time to show our appreciation to a friend and to a mentor, right? So yeah, that's what we'll do next week. Now, notes that we have before we jump into this episode is this episode will be the first on the new channel. So I created the Artistry of Podcast YouTube channel, and I linked everything up so that it will upload to the new channel. Now, once it uploads to the new channel, then I'm gonna take off all the other episodes. I'm gonna take those all off, and so that's like 100. It's like 100 and something episodes of the podcast, and I'll probably just unpublish it. So I'm gonna unpublish the 115, because I think this is 116, maybe. This is either episode 116 or episode 117. You guys know I can't keep up, but I'm around the ballpark. So this episode will be up on the new channel, and it doesn't have any subscribers, and it's all right. So, maybe we'll get one subscriber, and eventually we'll start to grow that channel. But it's fine. It's fine because I get I usually get like five views, 5 to 7 views on my podcast episodes. And like I said, I get it. I understand they're long and they're strong and they don't get the friction on. So ladies, do you want to take a ride? Mama says, hell yeah, so turn around, stick it out. Even white boys got the shout. Baby got right. So I understand that, and that's cool. It's no big deal. It's no pressure. The other episodes are coming along fine. The main channel, I did the animation, so I'm not sure. I think I posted maybe 2 weeks. No, it's been up for a week. It will be a week Friday. So in 2 days will be a week. So I published it last week. I published it last Friday, and then I went to work. Right, so I definitely wasn't sleeping. Just thinking about it makes me tired. But I published it, and it's like, okay, now we got to work on the next one. So right now I'm doing the script, and it probably take like 2 weeks. Right, I kind of got the first part, because I break it up into, maybe this one will be like 3. I'm thinking it's going to be like 3 or 4 parts. I know I have the length of how long I want it to be, so then I can start trimming. But you definitely want to have more and then trim down. So we got that. And then the Bull Miles actual page. We got the reactions. I did a reaction maybe last night, and we're actually going to talk about that, the content that was in that video, because I feel like that's going to be the direction that we're going to be moving on to. And just for some of you YouTube cats out there, some of our listeners who are aspiring YouTubers, I'll state what little bit that I know and about the YouTube algorithm, and what little bit that I know just coming from a person with 100 subscribers, right? So I don't know anything, but one thing that I've learned, in my studies, is that the YouTube algorithm wants people to watch videos, to stay on the YouTube platform and keep watching videos, because they make their money in ads. So if you can get people to watch your videos and stay on your videos for a long amount of time, and then from your video they go on to another and they continue to watch other videos, then the YouTube algorithm will pick it up. Now, when we talk about the people who are actually watching your videos, you want your title, you want your thumbnail to catch their interest, and then they'll click. Once they click, you want to keep their interest for whatever the duration of your videos. So It is tough, but I think that we have to remember that whatever we put out can be better. It can be the same content, but it can be done better. Everything about it can be better. Our performance, our thumbnails, our titles, right? All of these things can be better. So we just have to remember that. So my latest video, as of now, I think I have like 14 views, right? Now, those 14 views, it can be better. Now, I am going to tweak the thumbnail after a week. I'm going to play around with the thumbnail and see what I'm going to do. In the next video on that channel, on my Bo Miles channel, I want to do some type of fighting video, but I just gotta work it out, work out the details. And where I'm at now is, okay, don't try to make 1,000 bad cookies. Try to make one good cookie that you like. And however long that takes, spend the time on that and then make another one. And so that way it's like, okay, look, I really like this cookie. I can watch it. Or in this analogy, I can eat it. Right. So that's that. What was this? 21 minutes, our 21-minute introduction. Let's go ahead and get started.
Let me introduce you to Bo Miles, a unique and likable guy. Everyday life, friends and family makes up the artist's dream.
It started. All right. So in that video, matter of fact, let's take a drink. All right. Let's go ahead. We got some sound cues going on. So let's use a sound cue right now. So in that video, my latest video, we're following the gorilla Quigley, and there were a few things that came up in the video. Now I'm not going to drop any spoilers in this about the video. If you guys want to check it out, definitely go to my YouTube page, which is Bo Miles, and it should be there, just depending on it's there somewhere. Just, it just depends on when you're listening to this, but it's there if you guys want to check it out. But in there, he's a sign language gorilla, right? He uses sign language, and he says a few things are mentioned in this video that are just thought-provoking ideas and concepts that we have to deal with, that we take for granted. I think that these are things that we take for granted. And your boy is definitely, I'm feeling like jumping down the Anunnaki rabbit hole. Okay, your boy is ready to go balls deep in the Anunnaki. Okay, so that's where I'm at now. All right, and I just got out of the Tupac and Biggie rabbit hole. All right, I just got out. Now I think I'm ready to go balls deep into the Anunnaki. So back to Quigley. Quigley says that existence is a cruel joke. Now this is coming from an ape, a gorilla who has not been to high school. This gorilla hasn't been to college. This gorilla hasn't even been to middle or elementary school. This gorilla has not been indoctrinated by our culture the same way that I would say that we have been by our culture. Now, he says that existence is a cruel joke. And in this piece, the researchers, they say that, they think maybe in a decade or whatever, they can teach a gorilla to turn to alcoholism and to commit suicide. Now, we know that dolphins will commit suicide. Dolphins will do that. The way that they will do that is when they're depressed, like if they're in a small body of water, or if they if something gets taken away, like a loved one or a friend, or if they just feel like, yo, man, this is, because it seems like they are aware that they are in some type of prison. Now, Quigley, up until the moment, right, he was just living happy and blissful. He's just going about his life and he's happy. Now, captivity is the only life he knows. I'm just assuming this. They don't say that he was brought up in the facility, right? He wasn't. They don't say that he was brought up in captivity, but the fact that he's doing sign language, I'm just assuming that that he's been in the game for a long time, right? He's been studied for a long time. So he's truly not aware of how he is supposed to be, how he would be if it wasn't for human interaction. Because if we just go and get he's probably like 3, he might be 500, he's probably like 3 to 500 pounds. If we just go run up on a 3 to 500 pound gorilla, like, he's just not gonna start speaking sign language. Like, like, yo, that's not gonna be advantageous to us mere humans, right? So that's why I say that nah. Big Quig is Big Quig Dog. Quig Dog has definitely been in captivity all of his life. So once he realizes, like, yo, man, this is like, what is this, right? Like, he has to be aware of himself because they make him aware of himself. And that's something that is very interesting, because you would think, well, because these are things that we take for granted. We take these things for granted. Awareness of self. A lot of times, the memories of our youth, when we think about ourselves, when we go back to 3 and to 2 years of age and so forth, most of us, and I can really only speak for myself, but when I say us, I'm thinking about other people who I've talked to that told me different stories about their youth. You don't remember or lock in on the countless hours of you just being alone. When people tell stories, they don't just sit there and say, yeah, I was in my room and I started to count the bricks on the ceiling or the lines or the panels in the ceiling, and I just count. I said 1, 2, 3, and they just start counting for you. Like, it's very rare that you hear a story like that, but you'll hear a full-blown story about others. And then my mom said this, and then my dad said that, and then my sister did this, and then my brother, he did that, right? Because even now, we are truly not aware of ourselves. Like we're truly not aware. We have to be reminded. And that's what Quigley, Big Quig Dog, he had to be reminded of himself. Hey, you are an individual. You are a gorilla. We don't look the same. We are not the same. There are others like you somewhere out there in the world. And this is where you come from, right? So these are all things that he has to be reminded of. And remember, this is an ape who said existence is a cruel joke. So this isn't just some random ape out there in the wild, right? But it shows you the impact that our culture has on us. And some people just look, they're living it, they're experiencing it, and they're happy. Some people, they are. They're out there and they're happy. They're living this existence and they don't have a problem. They're good. They're happy. Their mom or dad did a certain job and kind of brought them along through school, and now they're doing the job, right? And they feel good. And they're going to have kids, and they're just living the script, right? And this isn't bad. This isn't bad, but the script isn't real. Because there is no need for suicide in true human existence, in true life. Right? Now, the dolphin, and dolphins, plural, that commit suicide are in captivity. They're the ones in captivity. Now, even though, okay, we are social creatures. We are social creatures. But the government is not real. States, lines and borders, treaties are not real. These are just agreed upon social contracts and constructs that we agree on. And we say that, okay, right? So this stuff is not real. And this is the type of stuff that causes anguish, that causes all of the problems that we're experiencing now. And this isn't an episode to say that we need anarchy and we need to destroy the government, because the government is like cryptocurrency. It's like the music business. The government is business. So when you make money a certain way, you want to keep making money that way. To take away that money, because like we have women who believe that money is the same. Women treat money like men treat sex. And I would say, can't say sexuality, but the attributes of women. That's how women treat money for men. So when a man sees a woman, he looks at her breasts, he looks at her butt, her hips, her neck, her arms, whatever, right? He looks at all of these things to see an attraction. Women look at men, they look at their bank account. Now, if a woman can see your bank account when they look at you, that's the equivalence of having a fat ass or having big titties. That's the equivalence when they look at you. So if you let's say you just look like a homeless bum. You look like a homeless bum, and you're around. You're just walking around. When a woman looks at you, she's going to look at you in disgust. Right? We're saying just a woman to a man. A woman sees a man who looks like a homeless bum, looking scruffy, dirty gray pants or a dirty green long army jacket. Haven't had a haircut. Got some dirty brown gloves, or like these are the colors that we associate with homelessness. Are these like gray, brown, and black, dingy black, like kind of like a black that's turning into gray. This transition, we're a transitioning black. So these are some of the things that as a man, and this has just been throughout history, that money has been perceived by the opposite sex. And we don't really just say women, really, because a man, it doesn't work the same way for a man. A man can see a woman, and it doesn't matter what her financial state is. As long as either if he's a breast man, if he's an ass man, whatever, he's a leg man, whatever. There's so many weird things out here. Your boy can't even rattle them all off, right? So many different things, but just your traditional, right? I'm a classic man. So I'm gonna just speak on the classics, but some of you guys like, oh man, I just love the way a woman snaps. So man, when I saw her snap that left hand, the way that those fingers came together and just slid off, like, it just made like, hey, he loves the snap. He loves the way women snap. So, right. So that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all about financial. Like women who are famous and that all the men love and like let's take the Kardashians, right? We take Kim, she's up there. We can take Kylie, she's up there, right? We can start to jump into Coi Leray or Mulatto. It doesn't matter who you name. Men are not attracted to them because of their fame. Like they're not. It's about their sexual presentation. Now, that presentation is because, men want to have sex, right? Men want to have sex with women. Women want to have sex as well. But that's not governing these decisions. Now, friends have sex. Women they get comfortable around you, and you're around. It's like a familiarity. All right, you're in that range, and now they have to decide. Okay, will I or will I won't? Is you ain't my baby, right? So they make these decisions, but we take that homeless looking guy that we described earlier. So he looks the same, and we give him $1 million a day. We give him $1 million a day. So he's almost to $500 million, right? That's how much he makes a year. Same scruffy, gray, dirty green jacket, scruffy face, toboggan, burgundy. Let's give him a burgundy toboggan or green toboggan. Same, everything's the same. And he's pushing a cart. He's pushing his little shopping cart. He has a little cart he stole from the market. Or at this point, he didn't even steal it. He brought it. He brought it with his freaking $400 million a year salary, or just generating money that he's been generating, right? It's not even a salary. No one is giving it to him. This is just his. He has, look, I generate 300 million. I generate 400 million a year. I promise you that women are going to become attracted to him. I mean, I'm talking about he's still dirty. He's still stinky. Like, he is everything that we mentioned before. Okay? Everything that we mentioned before. But we have to make him a little mentally stable so that he can just keep a conversation, right? So in the previous one, some of you may have given him some type of mental illness attribute. Let's take away that mental illness attribute and just make him a regular guy. He's just choosing to look like this. $400 million a year, women are going to be attracted to him. They are going to be around him. People, and it's not just women, people are going to be around him, right? But that's the crazy thing, though. That is the crazy thing, because people are going to want to be around him. But now that we say, but when we say women, it's like these women wouldn't want to be around him be for the money, right? People, when we say people now, we're saying man, woman, and child, right? Boy, girl, like it don't matter, and we can take away sexuality off the table, right? When we think about men, when men are going to want to be around him, that's not because they want to have sex with him, right? They want his money. They want to be close to him so that they can have access to his money, kids, and so forth. Like, everyone is going to want to be around him. He's going to have pull. Same dirty looking homeless guy is going to be able to tell people whatever. Tell people, yo, you need to get rid of everything and start pushing a cart around and start dressing like me. People will do this, right? People will do this. But to be more specific, women who said, and who would normally, like, yo, yesterday y'all wasn't liking dirty homeless looking guys. Today, when you see him and you see his $400 million this year, I mean, look, we still got next year. He can't even spend all of that. So, I mean, he's definitely a billionaire at this point, right? Or can't say he's a billionaire. We can't just throw around these titles. A billionaire means that you are generating billions. Just because you have saved $1 billion doesn't mean you're a billionaire. A millionaire means that you are generating millions of dollars. You are generating millions. Therefore, you are a millionaire. It doesn't mean that you have $1 million. You can have $1 million. You can have a couple million and not be a millionaire, right? But like, that's how we just kind of use language haphazardly, just throwing it around. But it still doesn't take away the true meaning of it, even though it gets diluted through our use. So now you have this millionaire homeless guy generating $400 million a year. And like, yo, women are now, They want to be around them, and they want to have sex with them. Dirty, stinky yo. But why? Why is that? And that's because of the same thing that imprisons Quigley, right? The same thing that is imprisoning all of us. It's blinding us all. Women are being blinded by this as well. It makes me just wonder, okay, what would they be attracted to then? If money did not exist, if every person was equal, every person is equal. Now what? Would it go on looks? If every person is equal, then would it go off of looks? I wonder. I should get a hotline going. Matter of fact, I think I will. Let's say we're gonna give it a year. Let's say we're gonna give it a year to get the hotline. To get the hotline up. What is this? Yeah, I knew this was going to be this. So I definitely don't want to be getting these type of notifications, right? But let's say, look, we want to build up our audience. So in a year's time, we're going to build it up to where we can have the hotline going, and we can start getting calls and feedback on these questions that are being raised during the podcast. Now, I do have a number, and I'm going to actually put it. I'm going to put it on the file. So when you guys look at however you're listening to this, in the information tags, you're going to see the number. I'm going to put the number so that you guys can call in if you have any comments. But I want to know that. I really. So those of you who want to get your opinions out there, like I said, I'm going to put it in the information tag so you guys will have that number, and I will start. That's what we're going to do first. So the first thing is to put it in the information tags. And then we're going to always ask questions as we want. And let's just say, look, we're going to set a goal for ourselves that this time next year we're going to have an audience who would like to participate in these questions. So if you would like to participate now, just check the information tags because the number is now there. I've put it in. Okay, so I'm putting it in this episode. We have the number. The number is available. So those we had a few callers. So it's out there somewhere. But I'm gonna associate it and tie it to in the information tag so you guys can have it, but I want to know that would it just be if we were all equal? Because all right, if you're Kim K, or any of the other Kardashian women, then you don't want money. You don't need money. That's not what you are looking for. So then, what is it, right? Because what happens is, and I think that we all look for and we all get what we want or what we are looking for. That we get these things, but we're just looking at it with the okay, I want a chicken sandwich, but okay, look, I also want some fries and I also want something to drink. So if that's a combo and I can get it cheaper, if I get the combo, then look, let me get the combo, right? If there is no combo and I'm just doing this a la carte, well then, who has the best fries? All right, so who has the best spicy chicken sandwich? Now, in the past, I would say Wendy's, right? I would go with Wendy's for my spicy chicken sandwich. But I believe that I've had other spicy chicken sandwich. I just can't really think. Now, I used to like Popeye's spicy chicken tenders. Now, for some reason, I don't know what it is with the spice or just something about them that's really just throwing me off. Now, KFC used to have good ones as well, but they dropped the ball tremendously, right? They're really trying to find themselves, and we just have to let them do that. But whoever you would say has the best spicy chicken sandwich, okay? Who has the best fries, and then who has the best? I want to say shake, right? If you want a milkshake, but whatever you want to drink. If we're just doing a la carte, you're going to put these things together for yourself, especially if they're close by. Now, if you have to drive a long way, then it's like, well, Bojangles fries, I hate. They have the worst fries. So you will never catch me buying Bojangles fries. Okay. And now I like their food. Like they have a chicken sandwich. They have a spicy chicken sandwich that I like, and I like their rice, their dirty rice, right? So I like some of their stuff. So I'm not just hating on Bojangles, but their fries. Now that's that shit I don't like. That's that shit I don't like Bojangles fries. What I don't like. Okay, so look, man. They just some trash. Okay, look, I'm sorry. Some of y'all love them. Some of y'all, there has to be a large group of people who love those fries, because those fries, they should have changed those fries up. All right, remember, Wendy's changed their fries. Wendy's used to have certain type of fries, but they was getting beat by McDonald's. McDonald's fries was killing the game. Okay, McDonald's fries was killing the game. Wendy's like, yo, man. We need to step it up. McDonald's fries are beating us in a land fries, okay? By land fries. And it was like, man, what we gonna do? Y'all remember that gang came up on my block and one of the killers went in the house like, oh, what y'all gonna do? What y'all gonna do? So that's how the Bojangles. No, that was Wendy's. They trying to battle against McDonald's fries, and they changed it. They changed it. Their spicy chicken sandwich, which I thought was good for the original one, and then they changed that. So companies, when faced with, and a bunch of places changed their chicken sandwich after once the craze happened. Once the craze happened, they was like, "Oh man, we need to step this chicken sandwich up so that it can compete." So I bring that up because it's a large group of people. I mean, it's like 1 million people who love Bojangles fries. So, and that is sad. That's very sad. And I weep. I weep for you. I weep for the millions of people who actually like those fries, because when you just offered slop, if that's all you're offered, then you start loving it. You start to right. So who knows where we were before we jumped to see that. Look, man, the Bojangles fries it threw me off, right? So we're on people and selecting different, accepting versus being adamant with what we want, right? So we're talking about characteristics and what we want in a person. So once you have a wide variety of people that all have what you want, then what? Then you start to say, okay, so men, and this isn't like letting us off the hook. I put our females, our ladies, the 3 that we have that listen to us. And I'm sorry, I know I generalized. I know that you are not like that. I mean, if you listen to this podcast, you're definitely not like that. So, especially if you made it this far, like, you made it this far, you definitely not a shallow Hal. But that's not to say that men are not shallow, because we are shallow as well. So I'm not saying that that men aren't shallow, like, because men are going to be heavily influenced by looks, but not looks as in the skirt or your eyeshadow, if you got lashes, or if your hair done. Like, men are not, they're not shallow like that. They're even more shallow. None of that stuff matters. It's if a woman takes off her clothes, like, men are gonna lose their minds. Like, that's the power that women have over men. And so if we look at it from a man's standpoint, right, now we said, okay, Kim, or any, rich and famous woman, like, they have all of the things that we stereotypically say that women are with men for, right? So our homeless looking billionaire or millionaire, right? Our homeless millionaire, he's going to get a lot of women, but the woman he's not going to get is going to be a woman who is also making $400 million a year. Right? And remember, I mean, he stinks, he's dirty, he's all of these things. He's just a regular guy, right? He's just a regular guy. He's choosing to be like this. A woman who makes $400 million is not going to give him the time of day. Only people going to give him the time of day are people who don't make that type of money, who are not content. So that's even people, even guys. Like, if a guy's not where he wants to be financially, he's gonna hang around that dirty homeless guy as well. And if that dirty homeless guy tell him that he needs to get a cart and start dressing like him, he's gonna do it. Matter of fact, he don't even have to tell him. Like, people are going to look up to this dirty homeless guy, millionaire. People are going to look up to this dirty homeless millionaire and, like, get the same cart. They're gonna do and be the same so that they can try to achieve the same level of money, even though once they get the money, they're going to do something totally different. They're going to look, oh, no, I'm not going to be hanging down there no more. Why? Because that's not who I was in the first place. Like, people aren't dirty and homeless because they just choose to be. Yo, man, I'm just leaving all my millions, or I'm just letting it just do its thing. I'm just existing as a dirty homeless bum. Like, that's just not how it is, right? So when you have someone who, in this hypothetical, that is choosing, like, that person, especially who is, like, mentally stable and they're together, and a person chooses something like that, for others to follow along, it's only temporary. It's only until they get something, until they learn something. And then after that, then they just go off and they just do their own thing. Right now they can be themselves, right? But if it wasn't for the money, they wouldn't even follow this guy. That's why you just don't see regular people following and going after the homeless and seeing what did they say. Oh, man, did you hear what Telephone Rick said? Answer your telephone. Answer your telephone. Answer your telephone. Hey, Telephone Rick, what's going on today? Answer your telephone, right? So you're not going to find people just following and trying to find out what is Telephone Rick doing. That's like the guy with the voice who he was homeless, and he is like, he goes in and out of homelessness. And he used to be a radio announcer, and I think he was in Ohio. And I've actually seen him. I've seen him in Ohio. And he was back to his homeless ways, right? So he was homeless. I think he was maybe cleaning windows. He was doing just asking for money. What do they call that? Panhandling. So he's out there panhandling, and the woman gives him some money, and he says thank you in some type of in that voice. He has the golden voice, and they're like, "Oh my God, you hear that voice?" So they take the video. The next time they're around or whatever, they get the video, and it goes viral. And then I think he's on Oprah, he's on Tamra, he's on everything. Dr. Phil, he's everywhere, right? He makes a lot of money again, and then he squanders it. And then he goes back to being homeless, and then people hear about it and they want to raise him back up, and he gets rinse and repeat, boom, and then he's homeless again, right? So people was following, like when he blew up, when he became famous, right? When he became a famous homeless bum. Now he had $1 million, like, because I remember when he had 80 grand. So if you got 80 grand, on you, like, yo, man, you got $1 million. Or within that same amount of time. So if you have 80 grand in cash somewhere that you have access to, unless you hit the lottery for like maybe 250. Like if you won the lottery for like 250 grand, I think you do like a payout and taxes and all that stuff. And then usually how it will work is, so if you hit the lottery for 250 grand, and the first thing you're going to do is the payments, right? Now this is the low level. If you're a low level, struggling, homeless, you're a low level, you're just poor, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. Look, I've been poor all my life, so I'm not like talking down. I'm not talking down on you, because I'm there with you. So you're poor. You win 250 grand from the lottery. You're gonna do a payment plan because you don't want to just spend it all and blow it all, right? So look, we're going to stretch this out over 20 years. And I believe that, I'm not sure if that's the only length of the term that you can do is a 20-year plan. You might can do a 10-year plan. But I mean, that's really that's going to blow your finances. Because after taxes, you probably $200K. They usually hit you with, like, they gonna hit you with like half between, because you gotta pay. There's a lot of tax that you pay on it. It's not just you pay one type of tax. So you probably on 200K, like, you probably not. You're just going to take the lump sum, right? You're just going to take the lump sum on that 200K. So usually, probably have to be like 500 to $1 million, right? A good meal is you're going to be like trying to get like 50, probably like 40 grand a year on stretching it out on your payments. You're going to try to do like, so I can see people doing that, or even 2. Like, let's go and give them 2.5 mil, right? Stretch it out on the payments. That's going to give you about 75 bands a year, over 20 years, right? So that sounds more accurate. Okay. Then you're going to get a little taste of that money, right? So like I said, you're getting around 60 to 75K a year, put you at about five bands a month. So you can get your check, you're getting about 5 bands a month. And like, when you first start and you first get your 5 bands a month, like, you're going to be happy. You're going to be like, you're going to see that you can be able to do certain things. You're going to get you a car, right? So your debt to money ratio is 9 times out of 10 is going to, because boom, now that you're getting this couple, you're getting your 5K a month, then in credit cards now they going to jump in. Like, you might as well get, you might as well go ahead and get, I would say you probably get about 10. You probably, so if you getting about 85 a year, 75 to 80 bands a year, I would say 75 up to 100, you probably would get about 10,000 in credit. So then now, so you remember, but a monthly you getting 5 from your lottery, your 2.5 lottery. Now, your 5K, but you got 10K in credit. So you're gonna spend a little bit of that 5K, and then you're gonna start to spend your credit, and then just use your 5K to pay off your credit, because somebody's going to tell you that that's the way to go, that's the way to do it. And as you pay it off, then you get more credit. You can get that 10K up to 30K. So you got 30K, and that's only 6 months, right? So whatever you get, so you can spend, you can go on vacations, you can go and do whatever you want, and then in 6 months you can pay it off. Right? But remember, you still have other things, but you can put everything on that credit card if you want. So like, just spend your 30K. But you remember, you have to get there first. So you just got 10K right now. But the whole idea is that you're going to get to 30K, and then you can just pay it off in the year, right? You can just pay it off, spend, just break it up into half. Because remember, you coming from, you were poor. So you was getting what, 25? You wasn't even getting 2,500 a month, right? Most people getting like what, $8 to $1,600 a month, right? So now you got an extra $900 coming in. You got extra $900. So what that means is you always can fall back to your default of $800 to $1,600. Even 12. Some people are just getting $1,200 a month, right? So you always can fall back to that. So what we're saying is, with this money and just rationalizing, you're going to grow your credit. Then your credit is going to become a burden to you. I would say within a year to 2 years, let's give you 5, right? 5 years, you're going to just want a payout on that 2.5. Now remember it. You got 15 years to go, and you've already spent, your 5 years. So you've already spent what? Probably about, let's give you 300K or something, right? You already spent 300K. So that leaves you with about off of 2.5, and then after your taxes and all of that, let's say you got let's just give you 1.2, right? You got 1.2 that's just floating around that you're gonna get over the next 15 years, but you need that money now. Well, then what's gonna happen? Somebody like me, or just somebody else, right? Somebody like me is gonna say, all right, I'll give you 600. I'll give you 600K. for your 1.2. Matter of fact, it's going to be somebody that's worse than me, because that's a deal, right? People at them big ranks, they move in thirds. So if you got 1.2, they're going to give you about 400K. Okay. Look, I was looking out for you by giving you 6. You know, look, man, I'm going to give you 3. I'm going to give you 350. All right. I'm going to give you 350. You can take this 50 and settle your credit card debt that you're now in for like 30K, right? That means you got 20K to play with, and you got 300K, and you got, so you got your 300K, it's ready. This 30K is going to get you out, and now you got 320K. You can go ahead and you got these ideas. You got cousins, they got ideas. Everybody got ideas, right? Everybody got ideas. Ideas come a dime a dozen. Everybody got ideas. Ideas don't mean shit. Everybody got ideas. So take this 350, and boom, I'll cash you out. Under those circumstances, a person is going to do that. He's going to take the 3K, right? He's going to take the 350. He's in debt. Now he's out of debt. He's feeling good. He just gave up the rest of the money. He's like, look, man, that shit, I ain't make it anyway. Right? And my whole point is that it's easy for a person to have a certain amount of money and then to find themselves where their back is against the wall, and then they're just trying to cash out and just get out the game. However, look, any way they can. Look, man, I got too much. It's too much weight. I just can't do it no more. Right? And we bring up all of this whole scenario because we're trying to understand how are people really, like, without society, without society telling us how we should be, then how are we? Like, that's what we really want to know. We really want to know that. If it wasn't for society, then how would I be? Because young Quigley, he's like, yo, man, this is a mess. This is a mess. Like, that's what Quigley is saying, because he is young Quigley. Hey, let's see what this is. Can't be team. All right, yeah, we'll have to check that out. But Quigley is in captivity. And they show him a world. I'm sure that he's seen a world where he is supposed to be. Like, yo, this is how, because his world is still intact. Yo, this is how you are supposed to live. This is how you are supposed to be. If it was just nature and gorillas, this is how you guys live and die. To live and die in L.A., it's the place to be, where you got to be there to know it, where everybody wanna see. Right? So his world is still intact somewhere in the world, right? We as humans have been trying to destroy that. We've been trying to destroy that for a long time. Whenever we come across any tribes, any people who live close to the grain, we destroy that. No, y'all can't be here. Matter of fact, we're taking over. Like, yo, this is free land. No one is claiming it, and this is a part of the state or the country of XYZ. So you guys have to pay taxes. What do you mean we got to pay taxes? Yeah. We bought this land a long time ago. And this land is made for you and me, okay? So this land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, right? Like, yo, wait, what do you? Yeah, man. We gonna go and put a highway through this. Highway to the danger zone. Right? Like, yo, like that's how we do it. And we've been, so anytime that we see remnants of that, we destroy it because we don't want to be associated with that. We don't want that part. We don't like that side of who we are for some reason, for some strange reason. Because if people knew that, all right, the people over here, they don't pay taxes. They don't pay any property tax, state tax, federal tax. They don't have a social security number. They are not being tracked. They're not being targeted. Here they are, and there's a whole bunch of them. They just living life. They don't have a problem. If people knew that, then they would say, well, why am I doing it then? Why am I doing it? Why am I burying myself in all of this anguish if I don't have to? Because the answer to that is, look, you've been in prison and we are making money off of you. We are making money. The system doesn't want to go away. People are greedy and they don't want to stop making money, whatever way they are making money. Whatever way that I am making money, I don't want to stop that. I want to give that to my kids. I want them to make money like this. And my grandkids. As a matter of fact, I want them to grow this money and this power. So that when I'm old, look, y'all don't have to take care of me. Pay somebody to take care of me. Pay somebody to come into this home. And then pay somebody to watch them. Pay another firm. Pay another agency to come to check on me. Make sure that there's checks and balances. Right? Like that's what I want. Why the hell should I go into some nursing home and just, be a pissy bow down in our room number 3, smelling like piss and shit and ass? Like, why would I want that? I could just be home and just pay health workers, some nurse. She would love the job. She's got one patient, and she's making the same amount of money. She don't have to worry about running up and down and going crazy and just all of the crazy things that comes along with being a nurse. Because that's going to be hard. The stress. Now, of course, what she's going to be giving up is it's like that vacation. Well, look, let's give her a vacation. I want enough money to where she can take a vacation. Yo, take a vacation. We'll rotate. Well, look, we got 2. We got two nurses. We got 2 nurses, 2 or 3. Look, where 2 or 3 are gathered. Look, man, give me 3 nurses. Give me a staff. It's just me. Right? Give. All right, me and my wife. Give us a staff of 3 people. This is their job. All right? This is their job. They got 8-hour shifts. And they rotate. They're just rotating around and just kind of being close. You're just being close by. Right? So if we could do that, we would do that. Right? Money is the only thing that's preventing us from doing that. If you don't have the money to do that, well, then you got to go with whatever the option, the alternative is. And as you go down and down and further down, the alternative is, look, Pissy Bo in room number 4, room number 5. Was it a smile when I saw you down the aisle? We both grabbed for the frosted flakes, and then we fell in love, right? So, it's like, the less money you have, then the more of an inconvenience life becomes. But Quigley, he learns this lesson, and it's not even based off of money. There's something else. So then you have to wonder, like, how many layers of slavery, how deep are we really away from who we truly are? Like, that's what you have to ask yourself. That's the question. How deep are we? How deep is your love? How deep is your love? I really need to see. Look, that was the jam, right? How deep are we in slavery? And cultural slavery. You have this war going on. No man is safe from. You can run, but you can't hide forever. Oh, got Mobb Deep. Rest in peace to P. So you got this war going on, and soldiers on both sides don't want to be there. You have some soldiers on both sides that don't want to be there, but they have to. Why? Because their enslavement camp has declared that they have to be there. And just imagine if in their enslavement camp, there was a group of people that was exempt. That we don't tax them. We don't do anything. We don't have their number. I don't know how many of them there is. I don't know what's going on. That place would grow and grow and grow into the point to where it just took over, right? What is taking over? It's just because it's a natural thing. But it's this natural thing that causes us, and when I say it's natural, it's this natural thing that we're not having access to, that's causing anguish. Like, I remember just being in school and just feeling like, yo, man, this sucks. Like, I hate this. I hate being here. And I'm talking about as a student. Man, this sucks. I don't want to be in school. I don't want to be learning this crap. But they have other people who loved it. They love it. They love being in school. They go on to college. They get their masters, their doctors. They even teach. Like, yo, to live and die in LA, it's the place for me. Right? So, and I'm not knocking people. Yo, if you can tolerate it, if this is set up for you, like, yo, that's good. That's really good. If you love it, like, yo, you love this. Yo, man, I wake up. It's something like a 999. They like, boy, you a fool. And I like, yeah, yo, a 999. Right? Like, yo, you love it. You love it, man. Oh, beautiful, full spacious sky, for amber waves so great. Right? So, like, yo, if that's you, like, yo, that's good. I'm glad this was designed for you. This was designed for you because in that other option, clearly in that other option, you suck. You suck in that other option. So, of course, you're going to try to keep a game where you're good at, where you are, look, I'm the Michael Jordan over here. I can win and play and do everything that I want to do. But it's at the expense in the collateral damage of us. We are the collateral damage of it. The people who just like, yo, this sucks. Why am I living under this much stress? Why do I not like my life? Why do I not like what I'm seeing? That is the collateral damage. That's collateral damage. And they just fill your head with all of these lies on, oh man, you go to somewhere else, you go to another country, like, yo man, they'll kill you if you from America. Are you from America? Oh yeah, they're gonna kill you. Don't go to these other places. Well, you can go on vacation, places that we deem that are not going to kill you. But if you're from China and you come to America, the people, like in masses, because of course every place has some crazy people. So I'm not saying that. There's always some crazy people somewhere, right? But the masses are not going to kill you. But it's like, that's what they teach you. If you're in America, you can't go anywhere. You can't go to any other country other than the ones that America deems as safe. We have embassies, we have military presence, we have power, we have submission. So you can go over there. If we're in conflict, if we don't have submission, then don't go over there, right? This is the type of stuff that we're telling the people. We're telling the citizens of America. Why? So that they don't go somewhere else and just dip off and just live off the grid and live on plan B. Because this has been working. Like this has been working. This imprisonment has been working for a certain group of people. And they tell you, well, look, anyone can have it. Oh, is that so? Yeah, you could do good in school. I mean, the fact that you hate it, I mean, look, that's you. You're inadequate. Bo, something's wrong with you. You're dumb. You're just a dummy. You're a big dummy. Hey, big dummy. Bo, a big dummy. Bo, a big dummy. Bo, a big dummy. Dummy. Yeah. Bo, a big dummy. Like, damn. And people will jump in on that musical just so that they won't get labeled. So that no one will shine the light on them. No one will shine a light on them. So then, look, man, everybody, we just got to tease them. I don't want them shining a light on me, then they're going to be teasing me. That's what you get. And it rears its ugly head throughout history. Whether it's slavery, whether it's this Ukrainian war, right over there, that's what's happening. Whether it's violence against gays, violence against Asians, like just whatever. You're going to get a group of people, some people who just go along with it, even in acceptance, where they're, look, I'm not going to personally go out and call somebody whatever, some type of derogative term, and I'm going to go around looking for them and beating them. I'm not going to do that personally. But I'm not going to speak against it. I'm not going to voice any opinion. I don't want people coming to me. I don't want that. Right? So that's what you get. And that's what young Quigley just brought to my attention. He just brought, like, yo, what are we accepting? What am I accepting as truth and fact? Now remember, that's a difference. Facts are real. Truth is a belief. Truth, justice in the American way. Like that's not facts though. Because if truth is a belief, what I believe to be true is my truth, right? But that's not facts. So truth and justice, like that's not facts. That's just feeling. That's just. So how many levels and layers are we down in this thing? How many layers are we down? How many levels are we down? Even when poor people become entertainers, whether you're entertaining through sports or acting or music, or just pick a field just pick a way that you're entertaining. Even when they do that, like they pay a lot in taxes. Like it's ridiculous how much they're paying. It's ridiculous, right? It's ridiculous how much. But there again, like we said, with I'm reading, so I could have paused it. Anytime I get to use my cue, I'm ready. I'm ready to use it, right? But I feel like, hey, I mean, it's really not that bad to pause a second. Let's see. Okay, so we got a few things that's going to be happening this weekend. We got to make preparation for. But all in all, young Quig definitely got the gears turning and just asking, how deep are we in this mess? Right? How deep are we? How many levels of oppression are we? Because it's here for all. It's this America. This America, they abolished slavery of one race for slavery of the human race. And my point with the entertainers paying high level in taxes, right? Paying a lot in taxes. There's to point out the different levels. Like, you think that you're escaping, and you're not. Like, you're not escaping, right? We got Russell. Look at Russell Simmons. Like, Russell Simmons left the country because he didn't want to get locked up. He didn't want to. He didn't want to get locked up. Like, he can't come back into this country. And where he is, they don't have extraditing laws. The United States can't extradite. So, he's over there living free. If he come over here, he comes to America. Like, that is crazy. Russell Simmons. He's facing jail time And I say facing because, he hasn't been he hasn't had a trial. He hasn't, it's like, yo, we have a warrant. He's being plastered all on TV. Like, that's not what's happening. But yet, and still, he has some questionable things. So he just went to another place in the same planet, on the same planet, to find these loopholes. And he just living out I'm living there. They want to come see me. Come see me. So, it's safe to say that he might not even be paying. He could still be paying taxes. He could be paying United States taxes. Because he knows that in 7 years or whatever, because remember, there's a statute of limitation. So they only have a certain amount of years to bring charges against you. So, murder doesn't have a statute of limitation, but all other crimes, they do. So once you pass those statutes of limitations, but you can't admit to a crime. So even if you robbed a bank, the case is still open. So if they haven't found you in 7 years, so if they haven't found you or convicted you and brought a case against you in 7 years, after 7 years, then they have to move on. They just can't keep, but if you just say I robbed that bank on March 23rd, boom, you going down. You're going down. You're going down. Right? So if you just stay away for a certain amount of time, boom, you meet the statute of limitations. So his crime, it may be 14, maybe 7 years, maybe 14 years. And remember, he's kind of old. He might be 20 or 30 years older than me. So he's probably in his 60s or 70s or transitioning within those brackets. Getting ready to go into either one. I'll get ready to go into his 60s or getting ready to go into his 70s. So he's like, look, man, I don't even got 14. I don't even got 14 years. So even if I do got 14, let's say I got 20. I might got another 20, 25 years left. Let's just go ahead and knock out this 14. So, we living good because that's Russell Simmons. He's still generating money. He still has a family. So his business. He's just physically not in the States. And you find that there's so many loopholes, so many ways to exploit the system. My freaking tattoo is itching like crazy. So there's so many loopholes. So freedom is here for us, right? Freedom is here. Like I was saying earlier, they abolished slavery for one group so that they could have it for the masses, for everyone, for everybody. That was the greatest trick right there. That was the greatest trick. It was to look, all right, we getting rich. We getting rich off of the sweat of blacks. Look, man, if we could include whites, think of how much more money we could get. Think of how much more money we could get if everyone is a slave. Well, then how do you do? How can we enslave? How can we enslave white people? Well, only thing we have to do is enslave ourselves. So how do we do that? All right. Let's define the slave. Once we define the slave, they're working. They really can't say when they want to work or when they don't want to work. And they're making money. They're making money for others. And they're not making money for themselves. So you have all these people who want jobs, right? Now remember, population is going to be controlled by money. If you don't have money, then just circulating it just around. If you don't have money, so if you can't even keep your lights on. And remember, this is before electricity, right? We're talking about the 1700s, 1600s, 1500s. Remember, 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Slavery isn't abolished till the 1800s, right? The Emancipation, Abraham Lincoln. Oh, beautiful fools me, right? So we bring in account all of these things, and we say, okay, so the bad part, then you can't leave, right? So one of the bad parts about slavery is the abuse, right? Now, police was created. Sheriffs and all of these, the posse and the gang, all of this stuff is created because of slavery. They go around, they patrolling, looking for runaway slaves, looking for, right? This is the type of stuff, because before then, if you have a king, we're talking about over in Europe, you have a king, you have the army. You have the king, you have the king's army. Now, once you start to look, we just want to look out for ourselves. Just protect. And then, look, these other places need protection, though. All right, are they making money? Are they? They're protecting. You're making money. This is all stuff that you own. They're working for you. You got to protect them, because you have other people that just might try to take it, influence. And y'all people in there might be trying to steal from you. All right. Boom, you get over to America, we want to separate from the king, because remember, you just got soldiers. You want to separate from all of that. Once you separate from that, well, then who's going to protect, right? So all of these concepts was really a fairly new concepts and constructions. I mean, it's not new in this. They were here, but just under different names. So we're just changing names. We're keeping the same role and the same whatever, but we're changing the name to suit whatever the people want to call it. So one day you call it the King's Guard, the next day you call it the NYPD. But it's the same thing. How do you become it, right? So these are concepts that are, like I said, the stuff is still here. So you take the good, let's look at the good. Let's look at the good attributes of slavery. Let's look at the bad, the negative attributes of slavery. And as we minimize, because remember, we want whites as slaves, because look at all this money we getting hand over fist. We're getting hand over fist with this money. This slave work. America was built on the backs of slaves. We're getting all of this money. So how can we get white slaves? So once we set the standard, so we take away all of the bad things associated with slavery. We'll minimize it. Nothing is ever taken away, right? Matter cannot be created nor destroyed. It's always here. It's just about the label. So we give it a new name. It's never gone. Brutality, viciousness, violence, this stuff is always here. It's always been here. But we give it a new name. We give it a new name. We minimize it, right? As it gets a different name, then that original name is now gone. So then it's gone. We've corrected the problem. We pushed it. So now that line, those perks of slavery, with the negative side going down, now it's easy to just slide that thing right on over. And you get more and more whites and whites and whites until the whole country is slaves. The whole country. But then we even have to make ourselves slaves. All right, yeah, that's no problem. There's no problem. Look, it's just levels. There's levels to this, that's all. That way, people are not saying that, oh, those are the ones who getting all of this and they doing, oh, no, we gotta, look, I gotta be here 5 days a week too. I just can't do whatever I want just like you, right? We're all not slaves. Slavery is gone now, right? Once everyone is a slave, well, then now slavery is abolished. The problems and the woes are still here. It's just different names, just different titles. Because they're different names, then those old names die off. And once those old names die off, then those problems die off, right? See, that's the thing about language. That is the strange thing about language. Because people, they say that we're living longer now. Oh, people are living longer. Well, then what were they dying from? Oh, they were dying from different diseases, but we've cured those diseases, but we got these new diseases. Remember, you just changed the name. The game never changed, only the players. Some inherit castles and thrones, some end up deathbed layers. Victims of the system are stripped mentally, hit with 25 to life on the death penalty. Okay? The same thing. It's just different names. 2 years ago, they called it the bird flu. Or, well, now we would say what? Like 4. 4 years ago, it was the bird flu. Today, it's COVID. 10 years ago, it was something else. It was the flu number 19. I got stung by a bee. I had an allergic reaction when I was a kid. You're allergic to bees. I get stung by another bee. I don't have allergic reaction. Well, look, you're not allergic to bees, but you still want to keep this just in case. Just in case if you get stung by that crazy bee. By a crazy bee. You get stung by a crazy bee, you might die. Well, what was crazy bee? Crazy bee could have been genetically engineered with the purpose and the intent to do something. See, people don't, and we're off on conspiracy theory land right now. Okay, so we just have to give a disclaimer. All right, this is conspiracy theory. Now, Hitler didn't die in World War II, as per the consensus. He was over in Venezuela. He moved to Venezuela like the other Nazis. that all lived down in little Germany. The reason for his image, and we're talking about the way he looked, the reason that it was so distinct, was so that he could, the transition. Because remember, the Germans, the Deutschlands, were in R. Like, it was just people. People are smart. People are smart. Deutschland, they are smart. Everyone is smart. If you're a human, you are smart. Look at Quigley. My boy Quigley said, existence is a cruel joke. Is this gorilla reading Shakespeare? Like, yo. So people are smart. People are very smart. Whenever you start something, especially to be that powerful, to have that much of an influence, nothing is just happenstance. Even Joe Biden, right? And you're not going to hear me talk about politics because I really don't care. So that's why you'll never hear me talk about politics. Oh, you should this and this. I like Joe Biden and I like Trump. I like Bush. I like Clinton. I like Reagan. I like Jimmy Carter. I like Abraham Lincoln. I like George Washington. I like everybody. I like people. But Biden, he seems like a fool. And that's not to say that he is a fool, but the narrative that one side is portraying is to make him seem incompetent, to make him seem like a fool. But I'm here to say that everyone seems incompetent. Everyone seems like a fool. It's just how you script it. It's just how you frame it to bring out those aspects. Because they're there. Because we can't know about everything. We can't know about everybody. There are instances, there are little things that people do. If you look and focus on it and look for it, you will find it. So what we're being fed by whatever side, it don't matter which side you like. If you want to hear about the good things, if you want to hear about the bad things, no matter which side you like about Biden and which side you come to it with, that image is being crafted. But it's the same. But remember, it's not like Biden split off and became two people. So whatever you're seeing is being carefully presented to you. So when we go back to Hitler, that image of him was carefully crafted, carefully presented to the world for a reason. Because, yeah, you always think you're going to win. Like, if I go into a match, of course, I think I'm going to win. But I got to prepare even for those losses. Now, does everyone do that? No, everyone doesn't do that. But you better believe that anyone with a team that's worth their weight in salt, they're going to be prepared for everything. They're going to be prepared. So, especially once you rise to power, like you gotta be prepared. I was watching, and we're almost 2 hours, but it's okay. Like, it's fine. Like, it's all good. I was watching the Green Knight, and some of you may have seen it, and some of you may not. This is just my interpretation. So, remember, we talked about this in another episode, but interpretation is just everything is reflective. We see ourselves in everything. Those of you who like me, there are aspects of yourself that you see or that you hear when I'm talking. There's aspects that you see and hear that of yourself that you are hearing in me. And those are the things that you are pulling, that's pulling and that's being attractive. You're actually seeing and identifying with certain things, right? Not all, some things. Look, I'm totally polar opposite. But for the most part, you are recognizing and seeing certain things that you like about yourself. And you're just seeing them in me. You're just like, yo, what? No matter what it is. So, like no matter what. So in this last video that I did, I got the comment about my edits, which I've been working on. I looked at my previous body of work and was like, okay, how can I make this better? Right? It was static. How can I make it better? So boom, let's kind of beef up the edits. Right? But it's still so much more that we need to work on because look, man, I want like 50 million views and it can be done. I have to become better, right? It can be done. So we go back to Hitler, right? We're saying that everything is crafted, right? Remember, we're talking about him rising up to he's in power, right? Now we're on the Green Knight. My interpretation is there's a flashback point. The flashback point is the actual truth of the story. The quest, the young boy's quest, is a summary, a condensed down version of the longer story of that flashback. That's how I interpret the movie. So so he goes on like a hero's quest, and he has to do these series of tests, right? And some of them he passes, and some of them he doesn't. But the final test, he cowers away. And then boom, and now you have this this montage, right? But that montage is the true story of his life. Like, yo, boom, he's just a nobody, but he's a lord, right? He's heir to a throne, and he gets that throne, and he goes on, and he becomes a king, and he does all of these things, right? That the boy's quest that you see throughout the whole movie is focused on. And then you finally get to the Green Knight. Now, in the beginning, when he makes the statement to the world, to his community, that I embrace the Green Knight. And they say, remember, if you're with a hot girl for, let's say, 2 hours, it feels like 2 minutes, right? Whoever's or a guy, whatever you are, it don't matter. Like, if you're with a beautiful person that you really want to enjoy and you want to be with, you're with them for 2 hours, it feels like 2 minutes. But if you put your hand in the fire on a hot stove for 2 minutes, it feels like 2 hours, right? That is time. So in this story, when you see him just as a boy's quest, it's a year. It's a 1 year. It's a 1 year story, right? 1 year because like, yo, he loved it, right? Like, yo, a lifetime can go by in a flash of just in a quick of an eye of 1 year, of boom, 1 year, right? That's a whole lifetime. Feels like it's just 1 year, right? But if it's hell, 1 year can feel like a lifetime, right? So that's just the theory of time and relativity. So he goes through, the life that you're seeing as a boy, but in that very beginning, when he challenges the Green Knight, he's embracing the end of this quest, right? The end of this quest, of a king's quest. Like, yo, every king does not die of old age. Most kings, if you live long enough, like, yo, there's a certain type of way that you go out. And that was his stand. Like so this is my interpretation. Now, those of you, if you have a different interpretation, look, call it in. If you have the number, like I said, I'm gonna post it on and the information. So the number will be there, and you guys can leave a voice message. And I'm definitely going to check it and play it. So if you have any questions or any statements, comments, if you have any comments on the Green Knight, you want to give up your interpretation, because I know my interpretation is going to be different. Because remember, like I prefaced this with, we always see ourselves in our decisions. We like everything is reflective. Every movie that we watch, like when I watched Spider-Man, whatever this last one was called, when I watched that, like I'm picking up and liking and following and just seeing certain things that's going to be different from person B, right? So the Green Knight, he's saying that, I embrace this task of being the king. I embrace this. So that means at the end of this journey, I will see and I will face the Green Knight. They're like, I'm not going out from old age. I'm going out the Green Knight way. And he makes that declaration. And that's what, boom, he becomes, like once he makes that declaration, like, he becomes popular and successful, right? He becomes like, he's no longer just seen as some fool, some boy, but like, nah. And in the process, he's going to let a lot of people down, and he's going to do a lot of things that's not becoming and befitting of him, but that's just a part of it. That's a part that he's willing to accept. I'm willing to accept whatever comes on this path. I refuse the other path. Right? You face the Green Knight. Oh man, you can just hit him. You can just nick him on his arm. You could just, not even cut him. Just with the blade, you just hit him with the flat end, right on his tushy, right on the tushy. Right? He could have easily said that no, right? The Green Knight represents a life. It represents king. We throw that around a lot. King, what up, king? And then I'm not hating on it. Like, right? That's good. That's good. But a true king, life is a certain way. So you gotta live like a king, right? We talk about lions all the time. People get them tattooed on their arm, on their back and their chest, but they're not living like a lion. Like, you're a lion. Like, you should have like, a pride of women. Yeah, like, if you're a lion, right? If you're a lion, you should have a pride of women. And if you're a lion, you should die a lion's death. Someone should overthrow you if you are a lion. Well, I don't. They should, sink their teeth into your throat. What's the other lion's death? You starve. You got kicked out. You got kicked out. You're no longer the ruler. Some younger lion has come along and defeated you and took your pride. He took the pride, and now you're just out on the outskirts, and now you're just trying to hunt people now. Like, you're just hunting humans. Like, just an easy kill. Just try to be as sneaky and conniving as you can. Just, kill some humans, man. You can't take on none of these other prey. Not by yourself. You need a pride, and that was taken away from you. Because you're a lion. You live in the lion's life. Then you should die the lion's death. So if you're not dying with teeth in your jugular, then you're dying from starvation. You're just a scavenger. And maybe you team up as you and some other weak lions, and y'all just go around. But y'all are not good as the women, as the females. This is what they do. right? Like, yo, this is what they do. Your offspring has been murdered by the new king, right? Like yo, that's a lion's life. And that Green Knight, it symbolizes that. He is life that you choose. Now, depending on what you choose, you're going to face that. And remember, okay, in the story it says a year, but remember, if it's good, well, that's 40, 60 years, right? 30, 40 years feels like just 1 year. But that's some of us, like, yo, that's the only way. What Jay said, he said, I'd rather die enormous than to live dormant. Like, well, I mean, what's the point of going around 80 years, 60 something years, 70 years, just barely getting by? Now, for those of us who choose that, hey, there's nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong with that. We love a good dying young story, but that's not for everybody. Just like millions of dollars is not for everybody. But just let me know if any of you guys ever win the lottery and need somebody to cash you out. Let me know. Let me know. You know, we can make that happen. You need $300K. You need right now, and you ready to just give up. Look, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, yo, man, we all come up on hard times. So I'm just putting it out there. So if you need out of your lottery settlement, holla at your boy. Like I said, the number is in the information, and we'll cash you out and get you right. Get you your $300K, $500K, whatever you bring to the table. Just let me know what we looking at, but like I said, I mean, you're not gonna have $1 million and you're gonna cash, and I'm gonna cash you out $1 million. Like, let's say you got 1.2 or 1.5. Look, man, I'm gonna give you $1 million and I'm gonna just make 500. Nah, it don't work like that. You feel me? So it is what it is. But before we get into that, I would like to say thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for checking it out. I definitely appreciate every last one of you. Right? I appreciate you guys. I'm just happy that I'm able to get you through whatever minutes and moments that you allow me there. I'm just in your ear, just Reese's PCC.